Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome. So the song we're singing now is a song that was written by Shlomo Carlebach. It's a song about this particular Shabbat, which is Shabbat Nachamu, for those who don't know. And Shabbat Nachamu is the Shabbat that comes after Tisha B'Av, which is our saddest day of the year. It's the day of the destruction of both temples, the day of many dozens of hardships that came upon us. And this Shabbat is a Shabbat called Nachamu, where we're supposed to be comforted. But it says Nachamu. It's not, God doesn't comfort us. We got to comfort each other. You know, comfort comes from us. When we go to a shiva for somebody's house and we bring ourselves, that's God. That's where people say, "Where's God?" during a tragedy, and that's where God is after the tragedy. When we bring it, we bring it. So let's comfort each other this Shabbat. Let's sing together. It's one of the best ways to comfort each other. Sing one more time with me. The first part goes like this. Ay la la, ay la la, ay la. Ay la la, ay la la, ay la. Ay la la, ay la la, ay la la, ay la la. Let's try that again. So honored this week to have with us once again a beautiful soul that is Rabbi Zach Redman with the spark-lifting musicians Rich and Max. So I'm gonna have him lead us in a beautiful version of Nigun Yedid Nefesh. Page 4, if you're looking for it in your prayer books.
הרחמן משוך עמדך אל רצונך יחרוץ עבדך כמו היער ישתחווה מול הדרך כי ירח לו ידידותך ונופץ ובכל ג'הל הדורנה זיווה הולם נפשי חולת חולת אהבתך אחנה אלנה לפנה ביערות לנו המזיווה אז תתחזק ותתרפא והייתה לה שמחה גדולה ותקיימו נרחמך וכל הנהר בדאובה כי זה כמה לכתוב נחשפתי לראות בברך תוסף אליך התיקנה ופרוס חביב עליי אהיה צוקה צוקה שלומה תאיר ארץ מכבודה נגילה ונשמחה מהר
We're going to move on to page 10 for Lachuna Ranana, beginning of Kabbalat Shabbat. So there's two kinds of harmony. There's a harmony that we sing as like a 3-part harmony or 4-part harmony, and then there's the Hasidic style harmony where you take the last note of a singer and you all join in and make it something, bring it up, give it wings and let it fly. So Okay, like, let's just practice that. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Try it with the words. So yishayenu lekad mafana ay vetoda bizmirot nari alo kiel gadol on the bottom of the page, Arba'im Shana Akod Bedon Ba'oman Am Toelei Babel Let's sing a new song. Shir Chadash, Shirul Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shirul Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Shirul Adonai, Baruch Shemo, Basu miyom leyom, Yeshuato, Sapo Bakoyim, Kevodo, Bechol Amim Nivleotav, Veki Gadol Adonai Mulal Meod. And we move on to the last one before Lecha Dodi. This was Mizmor LeDavid on page 20. 16, sorry. No. We did that one already. Page 20. I think I'm correct. 20. Mizmor LeDavid Avol Adonai b'nei Elim Avol Adonai Avol ba'ozai Avol Adonai kevod shemo ishtachavu l'Adonai be'adrat kodesh Avol Adonai al hamayim en לכבוד עירים אדוני על מים רבים כל אדוני על מים כל אדוני שובר ארזים וישבר אדוני את ארזי הלבנון וירקידם כמו בני Shabbat Shalom. Before we get to Lecha Dodi, we have a beautiful liturgical poem, Ana B'Koach, which has the first letters of the alphabet in it. And
I'm doing Ana B'Koach. You're going to do whatever you want.
okay. So, I'll do it. Join me. Ana B'Koach גדולת ימינך דעתי ירצרו רב קבל רינת עמך סגבנו שייכותך כבבת שמרים וברכם תרם אך מצדקתך תמיד גמלם זוכי Oh Lord, get me high, get me high, get me high. Lord, get me high, get me higher. Lord, get me high, get me high, get me high. Lord, get me high, get me higher. Oh, higher, higher, higher and higher. Higher, higher and higher. Oh, higher, higher, higher and higher. We have a beautiful custom here at Romemu that right at this point, before we reach our climax of the Kabbalat Shabbat, that we have a poem, usually, or a meditation. So I'd like to ask Rabbi Zach Fredman to take it over from here.
If everybody can find a good posture and take a good, still, relaxed breath. And maybe you've got a noise to make, so let's breathe in and make a noise first. Breathe in. You should, before we get to Shabbos, you gotta let your noises out. Breathe in. Don't want to be taking any noises into Shabbos. Exhale. Third time's a charm. Last one. Breathe in. Exhale. Find a point of stillness inside of your heart, eyes open or closed. That point is expansive and peaceful, deeply compassionate. It doesn't stop at the edge of your skin. It expands to the person next to you and the person next to them, into the air of this room, the trees outside it, all of New York, all of the world, all the people and aliens included. Max is going to deepen us into Shabbos. Do not go anywhere without me. Let nothing happen in the sky apart from me or on the ground, in this world or that world without my being in its happening. Vision see nothing I don't see, language say nothing. The way the night knows itself with the moon, be that with me. Be the rose nearest to the thorn that I am. I want to feel myself in you when you taste food, in the arc of your mallet when you work, when you visit friends, when you go up on the roof by yourself at night. There's nothing worse than to walk out along the street without you. I don't know where I'm going. You are the road and the knower of roads, more than maps, more than love.
We turn to page 24 for a beautiful ancient song, L'cha Dodi, which the meaning of the lyrics has even been transcended by just the feeling that it gives us when we sing this song. We're going to use a song that also has that kind of quality. L'cha Dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekaber Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Ishmiyanu elam yuchad Adonai echad ושמו אחד לשם ותפארת ולתהילה לך דודי לקראת כלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקרא לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה מחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת ונקבלה דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה ומציא מתוך אפיך רב לך שבט בימי קרבך והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת עפר קומי לי שיבי כדי תפארתך על ידי שי בית הלחמי אבל נפשי גאה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת לך דודי לקראת פני שבת התעוררי, התעוררי, יברך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי. כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי, לקראת כלה פני שבת נקרא לך דודי תבושי ולא תקלמי מה תשתוכחי ומתמי בך יחסו אני ימי ונבנתה עיר על תילי לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת ומקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה והיום לתפיסה שעושה ייר ורחקו כל ממלאים יסיס אליי ואלוהים כי אם שפתת על כלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת ומקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה ימין ושמאל תהיה פרוצי ואת אדוני תריצי על ידי איש והן פרצי והן אשמחה ונגילו לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת ונקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה la 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 בואי בשלום התבלה גם בשמחה ובצולה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי קלה שבת המלכה יאללה לילה לך דודי לקט קלה פני שבת נגלה לך דודי לקט קלה פני שבת נקבלה בצ'בת You may be seated.
טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך יום, להגיד בחבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. עלי הסוער ועלי נביא עלי היגיון בכינור, ישמחתני אדוני בפעליך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. לילה לילה דילי לה 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 La 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 dilly la 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 la. Come on, it's easy. Oh, oh, oh. I love la la. صديقتها مار يفرها كيرز بالبحنون يسجي شتولين بيبي أدورا إلهين ويفريخو ودينوفونا بسيبها
Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos. So good to see so many of you. Wow. Amazing. Yishar Koch for making it out here, all of you, on this hot and muggy night, evening. So is it our tradition here at Romemu to welcome newcomers? So I'm going to come around with the mic, I guess. No, I'll do it. Okay, I'm good. I need to exercise. So if anybody here is new, please raise your hand, and we'd love to meet you and say hello. All right. We need the microphone for Zoom, so I know, even if you have a loud voice.
Hi, my name is Nina Ross. I'm here from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Nina Ross. Yeah.
Unfortunately, my brother Ken Ross, who some of you may know, couldn't make it down tonight, but I'm in town visiting, so glad to be here.
Thank you. So good to have you.
Hello, I'm Eleanor. I live in Brooklyn, and I'm so happy. I've never been here before, so I'm very happy to be here.
Hi everyone, I'm Josie. I have been here before, but it's been many years. And Yoni and Vivian are my siblings, if you know them. But it's great to be back. I'm currently living in San Francisco.
Hi, my name is Nadav. I'm visiting from Ithaca, New York, with friends and family.
And I'm Sigrid, also from Ithaca.
Hi, we're the Shoe Packs. I'm Andrea. You don't want to use the microphone. It's Ezra and Josh and Yaron, and we're here from Washington State.
Welcome, welcome. Anybody else? Oh, on the other side, okay. Oh, get some over here. Be right there.
Hi, I'm Bela. I'm from Queens. Happy to be here.
I'm Michael. I'm from Lenox Hill.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Serena.
I'm Jake.
We got married a couple months ago, and we wanted to go to services.
So good to have you, Mazal Tov.
Hi, I'm Eric, and I'm from Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Anybody else? All right. Well, welcome, everybody. So good to have you with us. And
Oh, hold on. Yeah, Barclay.
okay, we're gonna rise for Baruch Hu now, folks. It's on page 30, I believe.
I'll start it.
34, Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam הוא מחליפה את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים אוי אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד אלי 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 ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב הרבים. Page 36, Ahavat Olam, the prayer of love. You may be seated. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. אלי ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. ידידיי אלי אלי לה לה דה ידידיי לה ידה ידידיי לה דה ידידיי לה אוי נו ידידיי We move now to the sacred text of the Shema on page 37. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. והם שמות תשמעו. Continue on our own on page 41, 42, 43. אומר אדוני אל משה לאמור דבר בני ישראל ואמרת להם עשו להם ציצית. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 48, middle of the page. מי כמוך אלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילו עושה מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע לפני משה נאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, גלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדותם ברית עולם. איי 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 ביתי ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ויתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה וילמד דברה קירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומייכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן ביולמה and let us say Amen. We continue in silent Amidah with the words on 58, 68, 70, or with the words that are in your heart.
Going to make a blessing of healing. If you've got people near you that are in need of such a blessing, we'll bring them to the space. We'll make the blessing together. עלייה מן האוויר. Swift, speedy, big hole healing to all those that we love. We say amen.
Amen. Amen. We're going to have the Bar Torah now, a couple of words. Yes, please take that.
Shabbos, everybody. Warm enough? Yeah? Everybody warm enough? In the wintertime, we'll be praying for this, trust me. Yeah. So, it's been a week, right? For those of us who were together on Thursday for Tisha B'Av, on the heels of what took place in Israel earlier in the week, it's not been particularly easy, but we've arrived at Shabbos Nachamu, right? The great, comforting Shabbos, as it's typically called, referred to, and it's the beginning of 7 haftarot, 7 supplemental readings after the Torah reading that we typically read that lead up to Rosh Hashanah and are meant to give us comfort. After the destruction, we've mourned the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash, the temple. We've mourned our own personal or communal tragedies that it reminds us of. And now we make the march to Rosh Hashanah in 7 stages, and we're going to be comforted. And it gets its name from the opening verses of the words of Yeshayahu from Isaiah. And I'm going to read them to you. Here's the opening phrase of the Haftorah that gives us comfort. Nachamu, Nachamu Ami Yomar Elechem. This is God speaking to the prophet Isaiah. He says, go, comfort my people, comfort my people. And here's why. 3 reasons. 1, right? Dabru elev Yushalayim, speak to the heart of Jerusalem. And first, Vikiru ela, and declare to her, what? Ki malat tzva'ah, that her term of service is over. Okay. 2nd, right? Ki nirtzavona, that her iniquity is expiated. And 3rd, Ki lakcha miyad Hashem kiflaim bechol chatotea, for she has received at the hand of God double for all her sins. Who feels great about that? Your sentence is over, we're wiping the books clean, and besides, you kind of got a lot of punishment. Okay, we all feel better. My daughter would often tell me when I say to her, why do you feel so badly about this? You should feel better. She says to me, but that's the absolute worst thing you could possibly tell me, just to feel better. Right? And she's kind of right. And that was sort of what made me start to think about this question of how is it that we're meant to feel better with this opening Haftorah? And I think that the hint begins with this notion, this understanding that we can exhale, it's over, we're beginning a process of sorts, but it's really just the beginning of the process. The question is, what happens next in that process? What happens after a tragedy? How do we begin to handle it? And to sort of share with you some of my thoughts tonight around how Chazal, how the rabbis have thought about it, by doing what most of us do following a tragedy and what's happening right now in Israel following what's taken place, who for some it's a tragedy, for others it's not quite, but for I think a number of us it's a very difficult situation. We begin to dig a little deeper. We ask, what really happened here? What's going on? And so we're all pretty familiar, I presume, with the story of Kamta Bar Kamta, the famous story that sort of is the flag of what took place in Tisha B'Av, right? Any volunteers? Karen, of course, volunteer, 2 seconds, stand up loud. What's the basic story of that we believe? Why was the temple destroyed? Louder. Oh, so come on, Karen. Real loud.
There was a Bar Kamza and a Kamza, and one of them was the enemy of somebody who had a big party, and they sent the invitation to the wrong guy. And the enemy came to the party and was thrown out and embarrassed, was incredibly embarrassed, and decided to go to the Romans and so on.
Right. And he decides to go to the Romans, and he creates a story of intrigue. Is anyone familiar with the story of intrigue? I'll summarize it very quickly. He goes and he says, the Jews are rebelling against you, and here's my proof of it. Go and bring us a sacrifice, because the Romans were allowed to bring sacrifices in the temple. Non-Jews were allowed to bring certain sacrifices. He says, go and bring this particular sacrifice. And on the way to bringing this sacrifice, Bar Kamsa, who was insulted so terribly, creates a little deficit, a mum in Hebrew, under the lip of the cow so that it will be recognized by the priests and not be brought as the sacrifice, in which case they would say, sorry, not good enough. The emperor would be enraged and, of course, would sack Jerusalem. And everyone says, well, because of what happened between Kamsa, and the story of Kamsa and Bar Kamsa, where he was thrown out of this party, he was embarrassed terribly, this terrible, baseless hatred, that's what caused the destruction of the temple. But the truth of the matter is, it goes a lot deeper than that. If you look carefully at the actual Gemara, the actual Talmud passage, here's how it begins, okay? Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan says, what do we mean by the verse, Ashrei Adam mefachet tamid umakshe libo yipol ra'ah? What does it mean, this phrase, happy is the man who fears always, but he who hardens his hearts shall fall into mischief? And he goes on to say, that's the story of Kamtu Bar Kamsa. So really, that what happened starts much earlier. Rabbi Yochanan is telling us it began much earlier. Rabbi Yochanan says the problem isn't the fact that there was sinat chinam, baseless hatred. He says the problem was about hardening someone's heart. Well, where did that happen? Where is that even in the story at all? We don't even know about that. We focus on the famous story. But the truth is, it ends at the end of the Bar Kamsa story. Here is what it comes around to being. And I'm going to take you into the Sanhedrin, into the area where they are discussing what to do with this sacrifice that the emperor has brought that is problematic. The rabbis are discussing, what do we do with it? And here's the text. Savar Rabbanan the Karve. The rabbis think we should bring this sacrifice. Mishum Shloma Malchut. So in order to get along with the authorities, because if we don't bring the sacrifice, we know what's going to happen. Amalhu Rabbi Zachariah ben Avkalus. Rabbi Zachariah ben Avkalus says, hold on a minute. Yomru Bali Mumim Krevim Legabe Mizbeach. If we bring this sacrifice, it'll be a license for anyone to bring imperfect sacrifices. We can't break the law. So they said, okay, if we can't break the law, maybe we'll do this. Savar lemikdalei. Maybe we should kill this Bar Kamsa who's brought this, because we know his intentions are terrible. Let's get rid of him, and that'll save the issue. He won't be able to go back, and no problem. Instead, what do? I can't do that, because if we do that, people will think that you bring a sacrifice that's not, that is imperfect, gets killed. So I've got a halachic problem on either side. Therefore, they decide to do nothing. Amar Rabbi Yochanan. So Rabbi Yochanan says, in Varatuno shel Rabbi Zachariah ben Avkalus, it was this humility of Rabbi Zachariah, Hichriva et beitenu, that destroyed our house, V'sarfa et hichalenu, and burned our temple, V'glitanu me'artzenu, and caused our exile. So we all think it's about sinat chinam, but the actual text tells us otherwise, that it's about this rabbinic indecision at a critical moment. It isn't necessarily the surface reason, we think, but we have to dig a little deeper, that at that moment when he was called upon to do something important and to stand up and make the difficult choices, they backed away and couldn't do anything. And therefore, they didn't bring the sacrifice because it was problematic, and we all know what happens 3 years later. Now, lest you think we can blame the rabbis completely, we got the same problem on the other side. Notice the parallels to the situations today. The same exact problem. And I'll take you now 3 years later. Jerusalem is under siege. There's no food. There's basically fires everywhere. And the zealots are holding the people hostage. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, whose nephew happens to be the head of all of these, they're called biryonim, which would be essentially the mobsters, the gangsters, the zealots, he goes to visit with him. And he says to him the following. Here's the other story. Amar Reish Biryoni, he says to the head of this group, what does he say to him? why are you doing this? I'll give it to you in English straight away. He came to Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. Why are you doing this? You're going to kill everyone by holding them hostage. So Abba Sikara says to him, what can I do? If I say something to my fellow zealot fighters, they will kill me. So we've got two people, both on the side of the zealots and on the side of the rabbis, who are unable to make the right decision when called upon. So as we dig a little deeper, we find the situation that we think is so simple isn't quite so simple anymore. Last story. We're going to fast forward the clock to roughly the year 95 CE with four very famous figures that we should all recognize from the Haggadah. They are Rabbi Gamliel, Rabbi Yoshua, Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah, and Rabbi Akiva. Those are the famous ones that were sitting in Bnei Brak, the same ones. Very powerful, very incredibly important sages. They come to visit Jerusalem. And as they come to visit Jerusalem, they see the following situation. They come to Mount Scopus and they tear their garments, seeing the destruction of Jerusalem. And emerging from the area of the Holy of Holies is a fox running by. And they begin to cry and say, Akiva, exactly as the prophecy says, here it is. And as they're crying, Rabbi Akiva begins to laugh. And they said, how could you be laughing? We're crying. And he says to them, how could you be crying? You should be happy. He says, in what way should I be happy? So he says to them, in the same way that we see the fulfillment of prophecy for destruction, so too we should believe in the prophecies that speak and foretell about our redemption. So we basically have a formula of three parts. Part one, we learn about stop, it's over, the tragedy. Part two, we dig a little deeper to understand what's really happening beneath the surface and don't necessarily accept everything as the only story. And then finally, in part three, as we mature a bit more with a bit more time, we're able to look for and find the seeds of our own redemption sometimes within the very destruction that we observe. And so as we step into this first Shabbat, Shabbat Nachamu, of comfort, I wish to all of us, as we think about what's taken place and as we think about our own communal tragedies and challenges, that we're able to pause and recognize it's over, and then to dig a little deeper, both within ourselves and ask those of us who might be on the other side to dig a bit deeper, and then at the same time to look for those seeds of redemption even within the most difficult situations. Shabbat Shalom.
Shakoch, Shabbat Shalom. A couple of announcements before we conclude. So registration is now open for the high holidays. Rosh Hashanah starts September 15th. Everyone is welcome, of course, but registration is required in advance. Yeah, and September 8th and 9th is going to be a big Shabbat at Romemu. It's going to be a full Shabbat for new members. It's going to be a great time for longtime members and new members to connect. Shabbat will include Shabbat dinner for everyone who became a member. It is free. There'll be a virtual oneg in a Zoomagog. There'll be a potluck lunch. There'll be much more. Saturday, September 9th will also be a family Shabbat, and seekers an open house for all families with children in kindergarten through B Mitzvah are invited to attend. Enjoy Shabbat together as a family, connect with other families at Romemu. And if you are not sure if you are a seeker, if it's right for you, this might be a good time for you to come and check it out. What else? We got Shababy, resume next week, August 5th. All children ages 0 to 4 and their families are invited to this music-filled Shabbat celebration every week at 5 p.m. And to celebrate our first Shababy this season, we're having a pizza party. So that's, tomorrow morning, we're going to have open book. Shabbat services is at 8:45 right here at the Romemu Center, downstairs led by Rabbi Jill Hammer. And service begins at 10 a.m. right up here again. והשבותה אל לבביך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים והשבותה כי הוויה We have mourners Kaddish. If anybody is mourning for anybody saying Kaddish for somebody today, if you want to say their names out loud as I indicate in your direction, please say their name out loud so we can bring them into this holy space. Anybody? For them and for everybody else we have in our heart, we say, Yitkadal v'yitkadash mei rabba, be'olma dibra kiryotei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'b'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'b'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba v'vorach le'olam le'olmei olmaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal, shmei dekucha b'richu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'olma v'imru amen. Yehi shlam araba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. Get Kiddush? Gonna have a little Kiddush. And into this cup of blessing and Kiddush, we'd like to we'd like to thank our amazing prayer leaders today, Rabbi Zach and not Rabbi, but Max. So unless you want to be a rabbi. We got Max playing the hammered dulcimer, in case you're wondering what that crazy instrument is. And this is, of course, Rich Stein, our longtime favorite drummer. And we'd like to thank, let's see who else we got. We have staff. We have Danny online. Thank you, Danny. Mo and Ethan on site. We have AV is Chai. Thank you. And operations, we have Bianca, Lenora, and Freddie and Lenora. Staff, who else? We have Eden. We have the moderator for Open Book. And I think that covers it. Oh, greeters. We have, of course, greeters. We have Kathleen and what? Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay. There's water in the back, exactly. If anybody is, please help yourself.
Another page? Kiddush is on.
Dvar Torah guy. Mark Schill, Dvar Torah guy. Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful Dvar Torah. Thank you for inspiring us tonight. Thank you, Mark. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu b'shabbat kodsho b'yahava v'ratzon inchilanu zikaron l'maaseh breshit ki hu yom techila l'mikrahei kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim ki banu v'acharta ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Shabbos עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, על כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. שבת שלום, Shabbos, thank you.
Thank you, Max. Shabbat shalom.
Thank you, Noah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Noah.
This one's Noah.
Thank you so much, Noah. Shabbat shalom.
Good Shabbos.